Let me see show of hands if you've ever had to make a really difficult decision. Okay? And I'm not talking about the easy ones. I'm talking about the hard ones. I'm talking about the ones that cost you one thing or the other. The ones where you had no guarantee will work, but you did it anyway. Now let me ask you, how many people did you think that decision actually affected? Was it just you or your immediate circle? What if I told you it is probably in the hundreds or even in the thousands, and you would never fully know it? That is how ripples work. You drop a stone in water, and the rings keep going on and on and on, even after your hand has left the surface. Now, let me tell you the story of a young African immigrant who made a significant ripple. He came into this country with only a plan and nothing else. He had no Canadian experience, he had no network, and he had no money. His plan was simply to get a human resources job while in school because he was eligible to work 20 hours per week. But that plan didn't work. Nobody would hire him or give him the opportunity because he lacked Canadian credentials. So what did he do? He needed some income, so he took what was available. He worked in a cold meat and sausage factory. Now, imagine transitioning from a corporate suit and tie environment from back home and working in a cold meat and sausage factory in Canada's minus 20 degrees winter. You know, nothing makes you question your life decisions more than when you're looking at yourself in a cold meat and sausage factory saying, I came into this country for human resources, but here I am doing sausage resources. So he questioned everything. He questioned it all. He questioned the system. He questioned himself. He questioned it because he had extreme culture shock. He questioned it because his taste buds yearned for food he was used to. Depressed, exhausted, lonely. Some nights he will even cry himself to sleep. And many times he will have nightmares that sausages were chasing after him. You see, there's a kind of exhaustion that comes from trying to navigate a new country as a newcomer. But he kept on going. He kept telling himself one single thing, that this is not the destination, that this is the tuition, that this is the price he had to pay for where he needed to be. So he did it. He graduated top of class, he got his HR degree, and he even went as far as getting a HR license. So he started to apply for jobs, but unfortunately, he still got denied. But he kept going. So one day, one fateful day, he got a call from one of Canada's largest banks. So he made it. He got the job. He got ushered into corporate Canada, and he kept showing up. But he noticed something, that while he was building his own career, thousands of people were also navigating the same system he had fought through. No one was really demystifying the complexities of Canadian immigration system. No one was really demystifying the complexities of career transitions for newcomer. So he took it upon himself. He started to share online for free what he knew. No budget, no studio. There was no AI then. Just himself, a phone, and a lived experience. So you see, that single act, that simple act without a plan, sent a ripple across the internet. His following grew from 0 to over 800,000 on social media. Newcomers, students, and skilled workers began using the information he shared to make life decisions. Some of them made decisions on their visa applications. Some of them made decisions on their career transitions, and many of them made decisions on coming to Canada. And actually, thousands of them got in. You see, before he came to Canada, the major source of black Canadians was Jamaica. But 3 years after he started sharing online, 3 years after he influenced a lot of people who look like him to also talk about their stories, that primary source changed to his own country. He went ahead to build a startup that got accepted into one of North America's largest accelerators, a startup that got funded by venture capital in the US. One man and one factory shift era he almost did not survive. That man, everyone, that man is me. I'm not telling you my story because it's exceptional. I'm telling you my story because it is not. Right now, there are over 280 million people living outside the country they were born. Some of them are in this room right now. And behind every one of those numbers, behind every one of the immigration policy that got them into the country they are real people who made difficult decisions without any guarantee. The World Bank tells us immigrants sent home over $699 billion alone in 2023. Not foreign aids, not grants. Just ordinary people sending ordinary paychecks, funding education, sustaining families, and building futures across the borders. Statistics Canada also tells us that immigrants are more likely to start a business than those that are born here. They're not just taking your opportunities, they're actually generating them, they are creating them, and they're sustaining $1 billion small business economy. So you see, this isn't really about immigration. It's about what happens when somebody decides to make a difficult decision even when there's no guarantee. When I started to share information online about my lived experience, it wasn't a plan, it wasn't a strategy. I was just responding to a need at that point in time. Neither of those things felt significant as at the point when I was doing them. And that is how ripples work. You never know the impact even after you have left the shores of the water. So perhaps you're in a situation in your life today, you're thinking about a new job, about a new career, moving to a new place, you want to start maybe you want to start a business and you're worried. You're thinking about the stability, the familiarity, the version of yourself that already know how things work. What I want you to think about instead is the ripple you might actually activate. Think about the person who you might hire when you start a business. Think about the person who might get affected when you have an idea positively. Think about the person who reads your story, 2 a.m., thousands of kilometers away, and says to themselves, if this person can, so can I. You see, you will never meet all of them. You will never know them. But guess what? They will be real. So, make difficult life decisions even when there's no guarantee, like an immigrant. Why? Because you never know the ripple you're going to activate. You also never know the people whose life you're going to affect positively. Thank you. Thank you.